Right guys, welcome back to a brand new video here today and another episode of my F1 modded career mode here today for round 6 of the season for the Monaco Grand Prix. If you guys missed round 5 at Spain, then click the link in the top right hand corner of the screen to go see exactly what happened in that race before we jump into this one so you don't get any major spoilers. But this is Monaco and this is the jewel in the crown and it's the race that everybody wants to win. In terms of the weather forecast that you can see on screen, we have no rain expected in both qualifying or race, and also in terms of upgrades we do have a gearbox update for the car because you'll see in a minute the car is actually pretty worn out in terms of the gearbox, and this race is going to be very marginal, so hopefully we don't have any trouble. And in terms of upgrades elsewhere, no teams have brought any upgrades to this race. Williams still at the very bottom of the pile and it's still a three-way scrap between Racing Point Ferrari and Red Bull in terms of who's the top team in the sport. But now we're going to move into some more details, and this weekend I'm running a very special golden helmet this weekend for the Monaco Grand Prix. I might bring it back for maybe Singapore or maybe Abu Dhabi in one of the night races. I'd like to try it out, but in terms of this one, it is a Monaco special, and it's my same design as always with, you know, the usual look, but I've gone for some kind of chrome-ish matte finish, which is like a shiny gold metallic look, and yeah, it looks incredible. I've got nothing else to say. It looks absolutely fantastic. Really happy with how it turns out. But we're now going to move into qualifying here because of course we have a very busy session ahead of us, and this session is the most important session of the entire weekend. Unlike other races, this is where you can actually win the race. You know, if you can qualify on pole, that's going to mean good things for you on the race on Sunday. So let's jump into it and let's see how we get on. First of all, I want to point out that you can see on screen in a minute that the gearbox we are running does have about 65% wear, so that is pretty worn out, you know, and we're going to be maybe having some issues in terms of the race tomorrow. But for now we're going to focus on qualifying, and this was my first of 3 runs in this session, and normally I'd go for multiple laps on each run, but again we're trying to save the gearbox here because it is my last race with it. And you can see here as we run up to the line on our first lap, we do go P2, about a 10th and a half off Verstappen's time, but we're now going to run on board for a full lap of the Monaco circuit. I'll leave you guys with it. Hopefully you enjoy it, and fingers crossed we can try and get that first place back from Max Verstappen. Up to the line, and we do take first place from Verstappen, and we absolutely smash it with a fantastic lap there, 1 minute 6.2. And I did try to go for another attempt, and to be fair, we got off to a good start, really nice run through turn 1, and we found some lap time going up the hill, and we now go up into turn 4, and unfortunately for me, I just turned in a bit too early, hit the wall and picked up some wing damage, so that is going to be the end of our session here today. And yeah, the best we could have done, also get out of the way for possible traffic if I need to. I'm just going to ease the car back to the pits, and yeah, that was going to be the end of our session here today as we now look at the final classified results, and we do secure pole position. Verstappen did improve by a little bit, but he's still a 10th off, and I was the only man in the point twos. Carlos Sainz with a phenomenal 3rd place from McLaren, he'll be really happy with that one. Charles Leclerc P4 for Haas as well, another strong result, with Gasly 5th, Bottas in P6, then George Russell down in 7th place in the 2nd Red Bull, ahead of Sergio Perez, with Magnussen and Sebastian Vettel rounding out the top 10, and all of which were covered by less than 0.4 of a second. An extremely close session here today. In terms of the bottom half of the table, we have Alex Albon 11th with Nico Hulkenberg in P12, Lewis Hamilton in 13th, and Fiat, my teammate, down in P14. A really disappointing qualifying there from my teammate. And then Daniel Ricciardo 15th ahead of Norris, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Grosjean and Kimi Raikkonen running out the rear here today. The entire grid covered by less than a second, but that top 10 extremely competitive, and the top 14 covered by 4:10. So a really, really tight grid and a really close qualifying. But that is it for the Saturday session here today, and we're now going to move into the race of round 6 of the season for the Monaco Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monaco time here today. Starting from P1, can we try and convert this into a race win? If we do, it would also mean we take the lead in the World Drivers' Championship. So that's the target here today, and to try and pick up the full 25 points in this race, possibly 26 if we get the fastest lap. But in terms of the race strategy, we are going to start on the soft tyres that we qualified on, of course, and then we're going to go into the mediums and go for a very straightforward one-stop strategy. And also fuel-wise, we are running identical 39 laps out of 39 laps. The reason being is because we don't need the excess, especially if we're in the lead. The lighter the car, the better the tyre management around here, and the easier it is to drive. And also, the less heavy the car is, the more agile it is through the corners. So hopefully we can use that to our advantage. But the task in hand right now is simple: to get a good start and hold the lead into turn 1, and then we should be okay, as long as strategy doesn't screw us over, or that big car in front of us doesn't come out and maybe ruin something for us. So hopefully it's a good race and we can try and win this race, as it's something I always want to do. But here we go, let's get into it. It's time for the Monaco Grand Prix. Right, here we go. Start absolutely critical here as we build up the revs to the 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. Good start from us. Verstappen doesn't challenge, and we hold on to the lead. Easy does it through turn 1, and there we go, job done. Verstappen all over the back of us here, looking for a move up the hill, but we're just about going to keep him at bay. Putting our car beautifully in the right place at the right time. And hopefully, because now of course we turn the tyre temperatures off, I don't have to cruise. I can actually push flat out and really, go to the pace I know I can around here, and not have to drive and conserve tyres. So let's see if we can pull away here, try and establish some early dominance, open up a gap, and try and drop Verstappen more importantly. Carlos Sainz still hold on to that 3rd place for McLaren, and look at the gap we have to Verstappen already. As we go through the tunnel, we've really pulled away. Right, let's get a head down. I need to concentrate. Of course, this is one of the harder races of the calendar, so maximum focus. Early pace is good. Seems like we're pulling away quite nicely from Max Verstappen, who's behind us, as we set a purple lap. 1.3 is the gap. Let's try and keep Verstappen out of DRS range if possible. Another purple lap, keeping that pace up. Exactly what we want to see. Just trying to get my fuel back into positive, because we have gone into the negative a little bit without meaning to. So we're just going to try and get that back on target. Got to Verstappen now, 3.1. Pace is okay. Tyres are starting to go a little bit, as we're pretty much a quarter of the way through the race. Almost 10 laps out of 40 almost. But at the minute, just trying to gradually build up that lead. It's just slowly going up. I'm trying to keep the pace up. And so far, no major mistakes. Just keeping it all nice and tidy. Sector 1 is where we lose most of our time, but I'm pretty good through the rest of the lap. We're going to pit this lap now. The team wants us in on lap 12. Got to Verstappen 3.4. I'm going to pit just to respect the orders from the team, and also to avoid getting undercut by Verstappen. So it's the safe thing to do. I'd like to go a bit longer to make the second stint a bit easier, because we are struggling on our tyres now, but it is where it is. Verstappen against 4 tenths on us there through sector 1, but we make up more time over sectors 2 and 3, so that's kind of the story of our race at the minute and our pace. Yeah, we're going to pit in, just taking it nice and easy. Verstappen's actually pushing quite a bit here, he's gaining on me, but I'm struggling on my rear tyres. We're going to pit, get also down to the 60, and there we go. Right, we're going to get held up, I think. It's going to be that awkward distance. Yep, there it is. Got held up, an absolute treat. Not ideal. I was hoping for Verstappen to get held up a little bit, but we've got to build up the gap again. That's what we've got to do. Same as the last stint. Hopefully we can find some clean air to push. There's a lot of cars down the road actually, going down by the seaside. So someone must be going really slow with wing damage and holding everybody up. We've rejoined in 3rd place, so we've barely lost any places. But we're now going to the end on these, so let's use these fresh tyres to get up to speed. We've now got to try and drop Verstappen out of the DRS range again. He's now 0.9 behind us. Push hard towards the end of the lap to try and make a difference. I think I have managed to get a gap to Verstappen. We retake 1st place and we set a purple final sector in the process, and there we go, gap back up to 1.5. Let's try and go for a purple lap and solidify this extra point. Here we go then, purple sector 2. Personal best sector 1. It's not a major improvement, but it will be enough to improve the lap. There we go. 0.5. I'll try and go for another one this lap, see if I can find a bit more time. But gap to Verstappen now up to 1.8, so we've got a bit of breathing room now. What a lap. A much better lap this time. And there we go. 108.2. Hopefully nobody else beats that. I'd like to get a maximum points today. Gap to Verstappen now up to 2.6. We've managed to get that gap back to where it was before the pit stop. So there we go, job done. We can now cruise and try and manage this gearbox and try and keep our shifts to a minimum. Gap to Verstappen now back up to the 3-second mark. Still pulling away slightly, even in just standard engine mode. Car's working fantastically well.
The mechanical issue means you've lost one of the gears. Say again, you have lost access to one of the gears.
Okay, we've lost the gear. That's Fiat pits, so I'm not quite sure what strategy he's on. We'll see what gear it is now. So far, it's not one of the low ones, which is good. Okay, we've lost 5th gear, that's okay. Out of all the gears to lose, that's okay, I don't mind that. Easy does it. Got on the braking arm, otherwise I'm losing the back end. It's so awkward running 6th gear through some corners, or 4th gear in others. I've just got to hold it through here and hope for the best. We are lapping traffic now, we've got the Mercedes in front. Hopefully he moves out the way soon. Verstappen is catching. I'm using hot lap mode to try and compensate, but we are going quite slow. Let's see if the Mercedes moves. Come on, Valtteri, or whoever it is in the Mercedes. He has detected I'm here, but he's not moving. Okay, 5th gear's back anyway, so that's good. But now this traffic's giving me trouble. There we go. Let's see if this Toro Rosso gets out of the way. So far, he's refusing, whether it's Daniel or Grosjean, I'm not quite sure which one it is. Verstappen did get held up in some traffic behind the Mercedes. I believe it was Giovinazzi. I didn't quite catch it, but there we go. The Toro Rosso now gets out of the way. We can continue on our way, and we've got more traffic coming up very soon.
You've lost access to one of the gears. You've lost one of the gears due to a fault.
Lost another gear. Not sure which one it is at the moment. Is it 7th gear? No, we've got all the gears, so it must be gear number 1 we've lost. Let's confirm that real quick. Okay, no, lost gear 2. That's a bit awkward. That's a very awkward gear to use. We'll have to be careful with that. But Verstappen is going to reduce the gap. This is going to hurt. Taking this in 3rd gear. Oh, this section through here is so hard in 3rd gear all the way through. I can only use 1st gear for the loads hairpin. Other than that, we're 3rd all the way through, and it's really difficult. This one as well. I'd like to use 2nd here, but I've got to hold 3rd. But we'll get by, we're doing okay. Pace is not too bad. Okay, 2nd gear's back online. I need to use that to clear this traffic. Got 3 more cars coming up. And then a Toro Rosso just after that. Right, we've got blue flags now on this Williams. 2 Williams and a Racing Point. Let's see if they can get out of the way. We are going to get DRS. That's Lance Stroll in front of us. I just caught a glimpse of his pink helmet. There we go, Lance pulls over to one side, but he's still accelerating. Please don't get out of the way on the apex. I beg, just don't do it on the apex. Whatever you do, there we go. Thank you very much. Right, that's 1 down. 2 more to go. Let's see if this Williams will get out of the way here. There we go. Nicely done. And then all we've got to do is clear the Racing Point, which I'm hoping will get out of the way on the pit straight. I believe it's Lewis Hamilton. Oh, he's a bit slow. This is awkward. He easily does it. There we go, he gets out of the way nicely for us, makes a nice bit of space, and we can go through. We can now use the clean air to trample away. Verstappen's got to get past all 3 of these guys now, as we enter the final 10 laps of the race. Okay, we're catching up to our last car of lap traffic, and it's another Toro Rosso. And the minute I've got my engine turned up because Verstappen benefited from all that traffic, and the gap was 1.8 2 laps ago, so I'm pushing to try and get the gap back up. Let's see if this Toro Rosso gets out of the way for us, out of the final corner hopefully. Especially when I have DRS. Come on, move out of the way. No. Move out of the way now, please. There we go. Away we go. Gap to Verstappen up to 2.8. We should be okay now. I'm going to try and save a bit of DRS because I used quite a lot there. It's just insane how relentless Verstappen's AI is on this game. He just doesn't give up, and he's still on the back of us after 34 laps and all the traffic and everything that's happened in this race. Somehow he's still there. Verstappen's catching me. He's faster than me a minute. I don't have the pace to respond. Nothing I can do. I'm running high engine mode. If I lose a gear now, I'm going to be in massive trouble, because Verstappen's right there. I've got to hope my gearbox holds on for 2 more laps. Here we go then. We're looking good for the win. Verstappen's close, but not really close enough. He hasn't really challenged at any point. We've managed to keep him behind when it really mattered. And after a race where we took a massive risk on a gearbox that was 65% worn before the race even started, we've managed to pull through. Here we go then, through the final couple of corners. We won the last race in Spain, and we're going to win again here today in Monaco, make it 2 wins on the spin, and take the lead in the championship. Get in there. Grazie ragazzi. Forza Ferrari. Grazie.
Great job. You've done everything we wanted today.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Right, so looking at the final race results then, here it is, and it is confirmed. We do win the race at Monaco, and also we pick up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, which means 1 extra point for us, and we turn over 8 points on Verstappen, who got 2nd place, and then Carlos Sainz did a phenomenal 3rd place from McLaren. Really, really good result from them. Charles Leclerc also P4, good result for Haas ahead of George Russell in P5, and then Valtteri Bottas P6 in the McLaren, so a good double points finish for the orange team here today. But then Albon is about 40 seconds behind Bottas, so something happened there all race long and they lost a lot of time. But Albon P7, good points for Haas as well. And then Kvyat managed to recover his way into the top 8 from 13th on the grid, so GG's to him and well done for getting a few points, with Magnussen and Gasly running out the top 10 here today in terms of the point scorers. Missing out on the points though, we have Sebastian Vettel, Sergio Perez, Nico Hulkenberg, Kimi Raikkonen, Daniel Ricciardo, Lewis Hamilton, Lance Stroll, Lando Norris, Romain Grosjean and Antonio Giovinazzi running out the top 20, and no retirements in this race here today. But in terms of the standings after that race, we take the lead from Verstappen and we are 3 points clear at the top of the table going into the next race at Canada. Kvyat is still P3, but he's got Russell only 4 points behind, breathing down his neck, and then Hamilton and Perez looking pretty comfortable there in 5th and 6th. Also Sainz and Leclerc getting themselves into the top 10 with those strong points. And in terms of the Constructors' Championship, we lead by 7 points over Red Bull, and hopefully we can try and continue that. You know, we've had a good run of form lately, and I want to try and push on. Hopefully Kvyat can find a little bit more form himself. McLaren there P4, Haas P5, they both overtake Renault and Alfa Romeo thanks to their big points haul here today, and Racing Point are still comfortably in 3rd place and relatively unchallenged. But guys, that is going to be it for the Monaco Grand Prix here today, and if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like and subscribe if you are new for daily Formula 1 content. Also turn notifications to not miss any future content from me, guys, and also check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But that is it from me here today at Monaco, and I'll see you guys in the next episode for the Canadian Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.